and welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. Today we are going to be doing my makeup monthly reviews for October, and do I have a bunch of products to talk about. So I'm going to try to keep this intro very short and sweet. The month went by quickly, as it always does, but yeah, I do want to say though that I will have Samantha March's channel linked down below. She is the first person I saw do her monthly favorites in this kind of style where she has favorites, fails, and just products that are okay. So I want to make sure I always give her credit, but yeah, that'll be linked down below, and let's just dive right into my monthly makeup review. All right, so for today, I thought it'd be fun to do things a little bit differently and start out with going through all of my fail products, then my okay products, and then my favorites, and we'll end on a high note. First up, I want to share the Pixi by Petra Lip Gloss and Lip Stain Duo. Now, I wasn't really sure what I thought about this when I first got it. I believe I did the unboxing here. I shared it on YouTube, but I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. Like a stain, I like that the idea of a stain because being so busy and stuff like that, it is nice if the lip product, when it wears away, leaves a nice stain behind. But the stain side, took forever to dry down for one, was extremely sheer for two, and then when you put the gloss on it, I mean, it looked pretty, but it wore away so fast. I mean, and I've been getting more into lip glosses and stuff, but this wore away like in record time, and there was absolutely no staining. The only part that did stain is if I had a dry patch or like a bit of flaking on my lips, it would stain underneath that part, so then I would have just these weird dark patches, but nowhere else did it stain. Hard pass for me, did not like it. Just no, a big fail. So next up is the Jessie's Girl Dial a Lash Mascara, and this is a mascara that is supposed to allow you to kind of pick your own customizable like dial for a mascara wand, either stick straight and just like that with the little bristles, or you can twist it down and it curves it, so it gives you, you know, it's better at building up volume. The first couple times I tried this, it was horrible. Like it did absolutely nothing for my mascara, for my lashes, because it was so wet. It was just, I don't know, it was horrible. Like I did my lashes and then there were like 5 of them there all stuck together pointing downwards. So I was like, well, maybe it's just too wet of a formula. I'll leave it, let it, you know, thicken up. Been sitting for a month at least, opened, seeing if that might help it, and it's a little bit better, but still it just doesn't do much at all. It gives me some length and definition now, but absolutely no volume, and just not worth my time. So this was a fail for me. Another product that just does not work for my skin and my needs is the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer, and this is in the shade Light. They came out with a range for different skin tones and then a white and a black one. This is nice. It's very good if you want to conceal the vein, you know, if you have stuff to conceal, like color to conceal on your lids and you're going with a very neutral eye. It's like a concealer, so it does work well in that respect, but without feeling way too heavy on the eyes. But for me, it just did not hold up, and I have extremely oily eyelids, so whenever I use this, without fail, my eyeshadow looks would fade, and that does not happen when I use my Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. And it's just, by the end of the day, it just, the looks, the colors in my eyeshadows fade, the looks don't, you know, they're not as shimmery, they're not as pretty, the mattes aren't as pigmented, so it's definitely this little guy right here that's the culprit. So for me and my needs, this was a big fail. So Simple Colors sent me some polishes, and these are supposed to be a type of pop sensation, what is it called? Punk Yourself. It's supposed to give you a crackle effect, and I feel like I saw this trend come out a couple years ago. I thought it was really cool, and like it was like my later teens. I enjoyed it. Like you put the polish on and it kind of crackles, so it gives each, you know, nail and each manicure a different look, and it allows the color that's underneath it to pop through. So I was like, oh yeah, cool. They're kind of bringing more polishes like that back. And so I was like, yeah, let me, you know, send me a few polishes. They had asked me, Simple Colors, if they could send some, so they sent it to me, and I tried them out, and like I was sitting there looking at it, and if you looked really hard, you could see it starting to crackle and stuff like that, but it barely crackled. Like it just looked like maybe you had old polish, because there was still so much color left over. There was hardly any cracks in it. It's just, it was weird. These were just a big fail for me because I couldn't get them to work. Okay, and last up for my fail category is the Deck of Scarlet lip product that they sent, and it's their One Stroke Graphic Line Crayon and Long Lasting Lip Liner. It's a little duo. It has the lip liner and the lip crayon on both sides, but I found this to just be way too, what's the word? Like the liner was okay. I didn't mind the liner side, but the actual like lip product side, the lip color, was so glossy, slippery, soft, and wet. It just bled everywhere, even with the lip liner, but it just, yeah, it bled, it transferred, it got everywhere, it got on my teeth, and it was just way too glossy and soft, honestly, for a lip product I like. Maybe I'm just, because I do like my matte non-transferring lipsticks, but this was just way too soft and way too emollient almost, I guess you could say. So this was just a big fail for me. I did not like the lip product that came with the Deck of Scarlet palette, which we're going to get into very soon. So I think those are all my fail products for this month. Not too many, but let's move on to some products that were just okay. This is in my okay category because I just think it is okay. I have very oily skin, so for me, while this product works really nice to give me a very smooth canvas to put my makeup on top of, it does not help at all in controlling my oils. But I could see if you have dry skin or even maybe even normal skin, this would be really nice because it puts a primer and a moisturizer in one. And I really like that because some mornings, if I'm in a hurry, I would just grab this and apply it, and you know, especially if it was just like I'm gonna be around the house all day and I didn't mind getting too oily, this worked well. But it's just not a product I would repurchase because I just have a lot of other primers that help. My foundation looks better at the end of the night than when I wear this guy, but I'll probably still continue to use it and use it up, but I just wouldn't repurchase it. It's just not a product that fits my needs. So this product I'm a little torn about because I actually do really like it. It's a Salon Perfect Fill-A-Min Micro Brow Pencil in dark brown, and I think it's a really great eyebrow pencil, and I usually don't like the ones that are so teeny tiny, but every time I use this I was like, oh, I really like my brows. It definitely gave me a more strong brow, but some days I was in, you know, feeling the mood, but I think it lasted like 2 months maybe, and that's not every day using it, you know. It's just whenever I felt like having a more defined strong brow, I would reach for this. But it just went by so fast, and then one morning I went to click it up and I was like, wait, it's gone? Like, that was so fast. So even though Salon Perfect is more affordable, I mean, maybe if you do like this type of tiny tip, this would be something to go for because it is more affordable than the Anastasia Beverly Hills. But for me and my needs, it's just like, whew, that could get expensive if I rotate through them quickly. And for my brows, like, it takes a lot of eyebrow pencil to sit there and fill it all in if I really want that strong brow. So it wasn't life-changing enough for me to want to go and repurchase it, considering how quickly I went through it. So that's why I put it in the okay category. I'm putting this in the okay category because for me personally, my favorite shades to use are this shade and then this shade. And that's about it. There's shimmer in here, which isn't my favorite to use. And then this one's just so dark, I'm scared to use it because every time I use it, I end up having to sit there and blend for what feels like eons because it's so pigmented and bam. But I mean, with that said, all these are very pigmented and very nice quality, and they do blend out easily. The highlight is nice. It's an extremely powdery highlight. I'm wearing the highlight. I set my under eyes with this, and I'm wearing this as a contour and then a bit of this just to warm up the perimeter of my face. So I did use this palette today. It is nice. It gets the job done. If you were eyeing it, this is nice. It's just the highlighter isn't my preference when it comes to highlighter because it's just very powdery. And this is really the only contour, you know, bronzing contour shade that I like from this palette. So I find myself, even though I think it's a nice quality and it works really well and I enjoy the powders, but I just find that I don't reach for it very often because there are other things in my collection that I prefer more. So that's why I put it in my okay category. It's not a bad product. The quality is there if you've been eyeing it, and if you like all the colors you see, I say go for it. But for me, it was just okay. And same could be said for the Pixie and It's Judy Time palette. I do like this palette. It is very nice, but I find that now that I've kind of used it and got my thoughts on it, I'm not really reaching for it that often. I find that the looks you get aren't that like creative and different. Like a lot of the looks I feel like tend to all look the same-ish. I mean, it is a neutral palette, so what do you expect? But I was thinking about it, especially since I mentioned it in my BoxyCharm when I was comparing. I was using the Pure Soiree Diaries palette the same month I was trying this out and just using them back and forth. And I actually do prefer the color selection in the Pure Soiree Diaries a bit more, just because I felt like I could get more different looks. I could use it more every day. This has no brow bone highlight, which is a huge major turnoff for me, no matter what palette it is. So that's automatically like meh in my eyes. The shimmers are really nice. They're extremely powdery, kind of in the same line as the highlighter in this palette. They're very, very soft and almost almost too powdery to the point where like if you tried to like foil it and really pack it on, it just kind of like thickens up and then flakes off of your eyes, if that makes sense. I'm having a really hard time describing what this, you know, these shimmers are like, but they're just extremely powdery, extremely soft, and not in a good way. That's the best way I can explain it. It's a nice palette, and it's just okay. And last up in my okay category for this month is the Deck of Scarlet palette. This is edition number 4. I don't plan on doing a review of this product in depth unless you guys ask me here, and I can definitely do that because there are so many thoughts in my head when it comes to this palette, and I really struggled on which side of the fence that I kind of landed. Did I like it or did I hate it? And that's why I finally was like, it's okay. So I'm putting it in my okay category right in the middle. And if I was paying for this subscription and this was the first palette that I tried, I would say I'm gonna try one more month and then decide if I wanna cancel or not. So that's kind of where I'm at, if that helps you at all. There are some pros to this palette, there are some cons. I think the biggest con I just don't understand with this palette is why they included a lip liner and lipstick, like that separate one I just showed you earlier in the video. They had that in the subscription box, and they also included 2 more lip products. It's like 4 lip products, and you only gave us 3 eyeshadows. The quality in this palette I think is fine. I had no problems blending. I thought they were nicely pigmented, but just the choices they made confused me in this palette. So that's why at this point it's like I'd be interested in trying another palette and then deciding if this subscription is worth it for me, because it is more expensive. The eyeshadow palette lover in me wants to love this subscription, but I was just like, really? That's what you chose to put in the palette? 4 lip products and 3 eyeshadows in a, you know, a more, I feel like when I think of Deck of Scarlet, they really were focusing and aiming for the eyeshadow palette addicts. At least that's the way I, you know, kind of interpreted their promotions and when they released and all that. I was like, oh, eyeshadow palettes like every other month. That's like my perfect subscription. So this palette was just okay. All right, now let's get into some product favorites from the month. And I actually had quite a few, and a lot of them that I discovered towards the last half of the month, which was exciting, but let's just dive right in. And first off, I just want to touch on this palette right here. I did talk about it in my last month, but after trying everything in this palette, I do like this palette. Now, I think the reason it was just okay for me last month is because I was really trying to make this yellow work, and it's a horrible shade, and I still stand by that. But after using everything else in the palette, that is the only dud shade in this palette. So overall, and the fact that I think this is pretty much always on sale for like $25 or $30, I think this is a worthwhile purchase, and it's definitely one that if I want to go colorful, especially like teals or blues, this is what I'm reaching for. So this has definitely got a thumbs up. It's kind of redeemed itself for me. Okay, another eyeshadow palette that I am absolutely loving is this Found eyeshadow palette. It's from the brand Found, and it's in the 10 Nude. And it's extremely, extremely pretty, and the quality is very nice. I think it retails for just under $15 for all these shades that you get, and this can be found at Walmart. So really accessible, really affordable, and the shadows in here are really nice. Now they're not amazing quality, they're not super soft and pigmented and buttery or anything like that, but they're good quality. I have them on my eyes today. I use this shade. I think it's just so fun. It makes me think of like pumpkin spice and whatnot. It's a lot more orange in person than it's showing up on camera. Let's see, they have a matte brow bone highlight, Pixie. Take some notes. I just loved all the looks I was creating from it. The consistency of these eyeshadows is a lot drier than like a high-end palette like Lorac or something like that, but for under $15 that you can get at Walmart, I think this is a fantastic palette, and I am so impressed with it. Talking about Found, let's go into their mascara. Now, I have been wearing this a lot, is what's on my lashes today, and I think it's a great mascara. I love the wand because it really makes it easy to build up and define the lashes. Now, the only con that I have noticed to this mascara is that it will flake a bit throughout the day. It's just a little bit, and it's not like black under my eyes or anything. I almost put this in the okay category for me because of that, but since I don't personally like get annoyed or frustrated or hate a product because it flakes a little bit, I decided to still stick it in the favorites category for this month because I've been reaching for it every day since they sent it, and I think it's great. It's really easy to get that volume that I like and get that definition without getting too much clumpiness on the lashes, so Yeah, I like it. This is the Found Share and Define Brow Pencil, and no lie, I think this is my favorite thing that they sent me. And I mean, those other two products that I've talked about I really enjoy, but this is amazing. And I think the reason I like it so much is because it gives me the look, my favorite brow look that I go for and that I prefer to have. And before I tried this brow product, I think the only one that really gave me that was the It Cosmetics one. But I actually find that this is a little bit creamier than the It Cosmetics one. I find it very easy to give me the brows that I like, and I'm just so excited. Like, I used this the first time and I was just like, wow, I really like how my brows came out. It was really easy to accomplish, and the product was really soft. Like, it wasn't too soft that it would break, like I was afraid to break off, but it wasn't so hard that I felt like I was scraping at my lashes to get, you know, product to transfer. But ever since then, I've been using this every day. No lie. All right, I do want to touch on the Lorac Mega Pro 4 palette because I used it heavily this month to get my review together. Now, I have not had a chance to actually record my review, but I'm going to save the majority of what I think on this palette for that video because I do see that there are a lot of pros and cons with this palette. So I want to record a video that kind of gives you both the pros and the cons. That way you can decide if it's worth it. Overall, if you want shades, if you have a rather large eyeshadow collection like I do and you're wanting to maybe be a bit more picky and only purchase eyeshadow palettes that add something new to your collection, I would give this one a hard look. This palette gives you a lot of unique but still neutral colors because Lorac is, I feel like, when I think of Lorac, I don't really think of like crazy colors. They're very like neutral and everyday and easy and stuff like that. So this is still neutral, but it still has fun colors in it, if that makes sense. So if you're like a neutral lover, I think you would enjoy this palette to help you get outside your comfort zone a little bit and explore color, but still feel safe, if that makes sense. All right, and very last, I wanted to mention some nail polishes. Now, these are from Salon Perfect, and oh my goodness, I am in love with Salon Perfect nail polishes right now. Specifically, this one is limited edition. It's Too Cute to Spook, but it is this like really pretty orangey glitter. And I think the thing I love most about this is that it's a very opaque. I feel like the more affordable, glittery, shimmery nail polishes, you have to do a lot of layers to get the opacity you want. This one, 9 Lives, I think I did 1 coat when I put this on. And this is like a more of a black nail polish with bronze glitter, but this is beautiful as well. I've worn this on my nails, and this is actually on my toes right now. That's how much I love this color. And I'm not someone to put glitter on my toes just because glitter's a pain to get off, and right now I'm like 7 months pregnant, so getting to my toes is very tough, but I loved it so much I had to put it on my toes, and every time I look down I'm just like, ah, that's so pretty. I feel like a pumpkin. So I think that's why, another reason why I'm loving this one a little more than this, just because it's orange, fall, pumpkin-y. You guys know I love fall. Do I need to say it anymore? But also, if you're not into glitter, I do also really like their regular formula. I have Birthmark Beauties and their keratin treatment line, but this shade is gorgeous and it's very nice, very creamy, very opaque in 2 coats, almost 1 coat I feel like, and it doesn't chip, you know, too quickly on me. I think I can get a good 3 full days. And then I noticed some kind of chipping and stuff, which is good for me. So I don't know if you've ever thought to give Salon Perfect nail polishes a try. I definitely give them a thumbs up and highly recommend them. So those are all the products that I have to share with you this month, both my favorites, my fails, and my just okay products. I feel like I had a lot to go through. I hope that it wasn't too long, too lengthy, too long-winded, but yeah, I was really excited to share this month. I had a lot of really awesome products that I discovered and some products that I really didn't like, so I was looking forward to sharing those with you as well, just because, you know, as much as we love to talk about the great products, there are some products that just don't work that I feel like also need to be talked about so that you can make an informed decision if you go to purchase those. But anyway, with all that said, if you do like these type of makeup monthly reviews and the way I do my monthly favorites, definitely give this video a like and let me know down in the comments. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.